This is an Andy's Randomness special report. The George Floyd protest. Unrest in America. Reporting now, Andy Pollack.
Alright, hello everyone, I'm back. We have finally figured out the technical problems. And I will go on the record and talk about what transpired for the technical issues and why you are only seeing the stream right now in 720 instead of the normal 1080. What had happened was and I've noticed this in the past couple of months during this pandemic, was that Wi-Fi speed continued to go down. It just keeps having issues. And I'm just keeping an eye on the feed right now. During this pandemic was that Wi-Fi speed continued. Yeah, okay, so I lowered the gigabit, so let's hope it stays this way. I could always lower the gigabit speed. There's a setting, I'll show you this in OBS, and then we'll get back to coverage. Andy, there's no time for rest, alright? We're dealing with an emergency. Andy's not, this is why I'm glad he's not one of the mods. Okay, as you can see here, this setting over here was set to 2500 gigabits. And I did a test on, what was it? Right, fast.com. We can find it. I'll show you how it works. You go on fast.com, and it tells you your Wi-Fi speed. So this is my Wi-Fi speed right now, 1.4. I was streaming, and I'll show you this right now. We can go on to it. Oh, we just had him. We just had him. Thank goodness. I just caught in the nick of time. I was streaming Agenda Free TV, Steve Lookner. And I noticed the Wi-Fi speed was cooperating.
Alright.
So that was from Atlanta just now. That could have a situation in Atlanta. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But right now, I'm noticing one thing, and this is a positive at the moment, and maybe I'm being right. I think there isn't any looting going on right now. We'll check the NBC4 feed.
Yep.
dragging it around canal. They just said that somebody lit a fire.
Standing by.
Okay.
Yeah, Careful, how many bikes you got? Down. Top road to DI car right at the end. Yeah. Sir, can you pick up your cell phone? Did you walk by landlord? Chief Green to Manhattan South. Here, Chief. I got 2000 orderly, 10th Avenue and 57, heading west.
10th Avenue, 57? 10th Avenue, 57.
Chief, you said heading west? Disregard that. They turn back south. 2000 south, 10th Avenue and 57 orderly. 2000 south.
5th Avenue, 57?
SRG Chief Central.
SRG2.
Chief, raise from Fulton Street, F Field Command Post, 41 under from Rector Street at the West Side Highway.
40 under from Rector Street, West Side Highway, 10-4.
1.
41, 10-4.
40 arrested from the West Side Highway.
46th Street to Inspector Ayoko. On the, Inspector. Going to the Manhattan Bridge. Bridge, or go up to your location. Inspector, you read on that group coming southbound on 7th Avenue from 57?
10-4, 7th Avenue, 57.
DOT picked up on the West Side Highway on the air. CC Adama on the air, Captain Miller. This is CC Adama. You want the bikes to head to the Manhattan Bridge, or do you need assistance on the west side? Stand by. On the air, Chief. 2000 west on 56 from towards 9 from 10. On 5. Have the bikes go to the Manhattan Bridge. Central, please. You got a car going the wrong. Central copy.
Central copy.
North desk. Midtown North desk on the air. Midtown, be advised, the 2 blocks from your base. North base red. Going the wrong way on the Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn bound on the wrong way on the Brooklyn Bridge.
All you said is details. The vehicle
That's
going
your
the wrong
point.
way.
Listen to the Brooklyn Bridge.
10-4, you said a vehicle going the wrong way on the Brooklyn Bridge?
10-4, Brooklyn bound. Silver BMW SUV. Mid-man now.
10-4.
And father? Couple of van. RP to block off the other end.
You need to bring it to block off the Brooklyn side?
You have 3 cars that I guess got stuck in the whole traffic on Brooklyn Bridge. They're trying to proceed. But yeah,
EMS dispatcher to PD Citywide.
it would be.
EMS dispatch on the air, go.
Alright, dispatcher 632, 1013, Queens, 40-11, 12th Street, 40-11 12th Street, between 40th Avenue, 41st Avenue, in Queens. EMS unit 49 Ida, 49 Ida.
10-4.
South, 2000 South on 9th Avenue, 5-6. SRGCO, Central.
SRGCO, go with your message.
Deep. Detail, Sergeant Central.
Being assisted. Detail a mobile unit captain for the 10th precinct, 10-3. Detail mobile unit captain for the 10th precinct, 10-3.
Central, those cops will have those bikes going to the Sam Bridge.
10-5, you said the bikes is going to the Manhattan Bridge.
CT on that. To the bike to Manhattan Bridge, 30 seconds. No portable Central. Sure, we got a dumpster fire on Lafayette and Baxter. Have FT respond, please.
10-4, Lafayette Baxter.
Aviation, Manhattan Bridge on air. Aviation is on the air. Goes around the Manhattan Bridge, Manhattan bound. Affirmative, they're still on the bridge. They're at Canal Street. They're blocked off by barriers at this time, and the three vehicles are still, on the bridge as well. But they have not broken through the barriers. See screen in Manhattan South. There's crowds. We just have one vehicle. Could you see how many vehicles are in the crowd on the bridge? There are three vehicles in the crowd on the bridge at this time. Chief, green, south. Stand by, Chief. Approaching Task 3 on 9 southbound. Just notify Midtown North, Task Force at Midtown South. Midtown North is notified. Stand by the street you're on.
Okay, the trash fires on Lafayette and what? Baxter Street? What's the location of the trash can? What's the location of the trash fire?
Lafayette and Baxter.
Captain heading to Manhattan North. Go for Manhattan North, 4. Be advised that large group on 125 and 3rd is westbound on 25, probably headed towards the State Building. Central, we got our P-van at up. They need us. Thank you. Don't shoot up on the air.
Lafayette and Baxter's not going in. I need a location for that fire. Lafayette and Baxter's not going in. Can you give me a location for that trash fire? Lafayette and Baxter not going in.
Heads up. Metal pipes coming down.
Oh, West Broadway Canal, correct?
Did you get a...
Central, Aviation 18. Aviation 18, go with your message.
Yeah, Central, that whole group came off of Broadway to southeastbound Canal, and they're currently all on Canal at this time between Broadway and Lafayette.
10-4, K. NATO, at that location, K?
That's what the ground unit stated.
10-4. Red 1.
Official. Up carrier.
Portable.
Oh, units, check your mic, Pope and Carabio. Units, check your mic, Pope and Carabio.
City Wide 1.
1 Central.
I need the units to check your mic for open carrier.
City Wide 1.
Citywide 1 on the air. Go with your message.
Zone 2.
Order the exit time. 125 and 5 towards 9.
Oh, units, check your mic. We have an open carrier. Check your mic for open carrier. Unit raising Central. Clarify your message.
Portable to City Wide 1. Just be advised that the crowd is heading
Bowery.
south on 125 and 5 towards Madison Avenue. They're orderly at this time.
President above. 46th Street Commute Green. Bowery towards Houston. Out on 125. Chief Green on 125.
And now...
46th Street. 46th Street above Broadway, Center Street.
Pass to the street and Broadway. What's the condition here?
Just proceeding southeastbound at this time.
What's that location?
Canal and Center.
That's one. It's an center.
Street to Chief Green. 46th Street Command Post to Chief Green. Zone 2, Lieutenant Central.
Zone 2, Lieutenant. Go with the message.
I got a large crowd heading up Bowery Street, northbound, just past Houston.
That's one.
Some additional units.
Additional units, Bowery and Houston. Bowery and Houston, they need additional unit. Large crowd at the location.
We have a group approaching. They're going towards Manhattan Bridge on Canal Street and Baxter.
COVID Task Force Central.
CK Task Force.
First, just north of Houston. East first, north of Houston. We got about 300 at this time.
Transportable.
East first to Houston. East first to Houston. 300.
They just stopped on East first and Houston now, Central. 529,
529. What's the condition at 529?
539, Central, 539.
539. What's the condition at 539? Slowly group 10-4. Right, what group?
41 officers, Central. Got a couple of units over there. Freedom and hand south. On the air, Chief. Westbound on 49 from 9th Avenue. 2000. Over Louis. Detail Sergeant Central. Second. Louis. 5.
25 Portobello Central.
CI Coleman on air. CI Coleman on the air. George that group with Chief Green. Huh? 10-5? The group with Chief Green is on 9th Avenue coming towards his way.
25 Portable.
10-4 red. Keep it going. Detail Sergeant Central.
Detail Sergeant, proceed. Detail Sergeant, proceed. All units, check your mic. We have open carrier. Check your mic for open carrier. All units, check your mic. We have open carrier. Check your mic for open carrier.
Portobello Central.
Hey, to go, man. On the air. Group coming. Get towards, Lennox, about 2.
Okay, Lennox or what?
What? On the absence curfew, arrest be made. Down up to the tank.
What's the location for the air now?
Large group of bicycles that are and 49th Street.
All units 10-6. I have so much.
Be made.
What kind of location?
9 and 9th Street. 9th Avenue. 498.
Canal the 5th. That's Canal Street and 5th Avenue. What's the connection over there?
Yo, where you at? Where you at?
The Canal the 5th, K?
SOGT Central.
Sergeant Chief, proceed.
Taking Grant and Baxter, holding multiple.
F4, playing the tax with F4. Taking the hat in now? I need a prison being that Glenn and Daxter. I need a prison being that Glenn and Daxter.
Central, be advised, I'm on 49 and 8, and we're surrounded in our office.
Right, the 10-4, all you discussing.
No further. Pablo to Zone 3, Captain. Zone 3, Captain, on the air. The crowd. Pablo to Zone 3, Captain. Zone 3, Captain, on the air.
What's the condition for Zone 3 Captain? Because we got an 85 going on. What's the condition for Zone 3 Captain? Because we got an 85 going on at East 6 in Cooper Square.
It's been terminated. No further. No further.
Okay, that's a no further to East 6 in Cooper Square?
That's firm. 9CO. No further.
10-4. Thank you, Nacio.
Slow him down.
That's a no further, no further. No further, East 6 and Bowery, no further.
Green and Manhattan South. The air, Chief. 2 down on 48 towards 6 from 7. 5 to 7. 48th Street. Heading towards 6 from Lowland.
Hey, we got a group.
4th Avenue. Central.
See what's your message to Central.
Central, clear the air. I can't hear the... Central, no further. Central, no further.
And that's a no further, East 6 and Bowery, no further, no further.
Off Bowery, go northbound, go to East 8th Street. There's a large group. They're heading on Bowery towards 8th Street.
So that's East 8th Street and Bowery.
So 46. Chief Green? Chief Green up here? On the air. Chief, you said 48th Street up the Avenue? 48th Street and 7 heading towards 6.
So that's West 48th Street and 7 for 6, 10-4.
Good. 125.
It's a large group on West 48th Street, 7 to 6. They under control?
10-4.
10-4.
Bond. Can anyone ever do this? Bond, decision.
Chat 5. Go with your message, Kay.
We're watching that group that's going. We're not to 7th Avenue. So far, they're orderly. About 600.
Okay, 10-4. About 600 people. 10-4.
40. 7 minutes, Inspector Halpin. Inspector Halpin on the air. Inspector, you heard that? 48. Calling 7 Central. Central, you got a D-van coming to Santa Monica, please, in Grand or a collection bus?
We need a bus to go to Grand and Central.
153 Detail Inspector Central.
See what's your message, Kay.
We have a group of about 50 people, 125 Street, proceeding towards the Apollo by 8th Avenue.
That's for West 125 and 8th Avenue by the Apollo. Only 50 people?
150 people proceeding westbound.
10-4. Gotcha.
Box code 601.
All units just sent this one. Give me one. Mr. Unit for Grand and Canal. You said you have requested every answer that location?
Where do you use the van?
Where's the van?
A wagon, 1951, going to Grand and Center.
51 going to Grand and Center. We need a van to Grand and Center.
10-4 Center, the present wagon on the way there now.
10-4, thank you.
Mobile response 601 Central. Mobile response 601 to Central.
Mobile response 601. Go with your message.
We're going to have one under from Crosby and Spring. Lieutenant Paul, 113 on the air. On the air. 4-2 locked down. 10-4, we're ready. 10-4.
So what that's on Spring and Cosby, Kay? You need a van to that location?
Central, I'm on Park and Beekman. You can cancel the van. We got transport. You can cancel the van.
On Park and Beekman?
Park Row and Beekman Central. You can cancel the we have.
All right, 10-4, but did you come over for Spring and Crosby? Because that's who I'm talking to. Which unit is that Spring and Crosby?
That was mobile response 601 Central. We have one under from Spring and Crosby.
10-4, you need a van to that location, correct?
Negative, we have a van we're transporting to Schermerhorn in Brooklyn.
10-4, thank you.
Federal Lieutenant?
Other time is 21:43.
Force 605 on the air. So far. Lieutenant Rios, mobile field force 605 on the air. Yeah. Meet me at 14th and Irving, please. 10-4. Disregard.
Following the bike group northbound on Bowery at Rivington.
Chief Green.
Details and breakfast center.
4-6, Chief. You registered at their stationary 7th Avenue? 9th Field, I'm at myself.
Okay, do your
Mobile field force 6-5, 85 meet 14th and Union Square East.
Do the inspector race and since you're on the air?
1253 detail. Just show up at St. Nicholas Avenue and 124 in St. Nick.
10-4, what's the condition on 124 in St. Nick?
150 protesters.
10-4.
Chief Green, 10-5, your message, please.
150 protesters, 124 and St. Nicholas Avenue.
9th Field, I'm at South.
In Southbound Street.
Inspector, make it to the ICP. On the air, Inspector. Send me, if you can send me 2 mobile field forces, actually, if you can send 3 or 4, it's a large group that I'd like to take for the curfew. What's up? If you can send me 3 or 4 field forces to 14th and 4th Avenue, there's a large group that I'd like to take for the curfew. Check. Captain, check them again. What's the you were talking about? Captain Levin, here, mobile. Captain. 14th and 4th. 14th and 4th. Captain 4. Mobile 603 on the air, 603. Lieutenant, mobile field force 605, 85 me at 14th and 4th Avenue, please. Try to 4, 14th 4, put on the way. Is there an SRG prisoner van on the air? 13th response van 8714. 85 is over on 4th Avenue and Union Square East. 601 to Central.
601, what's your message?
Central, is there an SRG prisoner van on the air?
There's SRG prisoner van on the air.
Are we doing shots for that? Captain Levinsky, 603 on the air. On the air. Captain, move your people over there, please. 14th and 4th. 10-4.
What's the condition now, 14th and 4th?
We got a large crowd in the street.
10-4.
That's the same crowd that was coming up from Bowery and E6. 10-4. So we're going to expect the rest here. Can anyone advise where they're processing arrests? They said downtown. 120 Skimmerhorn. 120. On 14th Street, approach walking past Union Square. Tell me as many people as you have, and we'll keep these people.
10-4, so you need additional to 14th Union Square, correct?
Affirmative.
10-4, I need additional units, East 14th and Union Square, East 14th and Union Square.
Captain O'Connell to inspect them again. You check.
Check your microphobic carrier. Check your microphobic carrier.
SOG portable.
SOG portable, go.
Starting 8 radio check. Center market and Grand.
How about 5? What's going on at Market and Grand?
We're Chief Silver on the air. Union West and 14th Street.
Union Square West and 14th Street, Union Square West and 14th Street. We need additional units to Union Square West and 14th Street.
46th Street to Chief Grover. Chief Grover on the air. We got mass arrest. Yeah. Chief, can you move over Captain Central SU, post 909 down there? 14th and 4th. We're down on 14th, so if they could come on 14th Street, I need help up in front. Mike, you got that? Field Force 909, down? Yeah, tell the units to meet me at 15th, 15th and 14th. 909 right. Comes in the top of ground. Understand for the 500. Doctor, stay on the 4th on East 14. They want me to follow out the crowd. We're going to take calls here. This is 14th.
Lieutenant?
We're going to cut there now.
Zone 2, Lieutenant, we have a moving crowd going up Broadway towards 14th Street, about 200 to 300 people. That's Broadway and 14th Street, 10-4, about 200 to 300 people, 10-4.
They're going south and north central.
Okay, Broadway and Bleecker, Central, Broadway and Bleecker. 10-4.
On the air? About? Inspector D on the air? Yeah, large crowd, brother. Large crowd. Inspector D on Inspector D. Inspector D, stand by.
Hello, this is your apartment. I need some favors from you. Your cat keeps rubbing against the kitchen island, and I can't return the favor. Can you give her extra pets for me? After that, could you bundle your renters and car insurance with Geico? We could save money, and it's easy to do online. And one last thing. Could you leave the TV on during the day? I need to catch up on my soaps.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
You right on the other side of the Grand and 7? Did you send private?
Wait a second, we got a 13 going on West 14th and 5th. Give me one. Central on the air, proceed with your message.
Central, we send him over to bus 102.
Is something on fire on West 14th and 5th?
Mobile fuel force 102, 85.
What's your location, cuz? What's your location for 85? Unicorn 85, what's your location?
I was saying 14th and 5th.
Okay, we need additional units to 14th and 5th. We need additional to 14th and 5th.
Central, mobile force 102. Still responding. Mobile force 205 from the north is going to also.
125 detail inspector central.
What on the air?
25 detail inspector. See what your message says. 25 detail inspector central. Show the group at 16 Avenue going southbound. All right, be advised, we got a 13 going on at West 14th and 5th. You got to give me one.
Central, you should start getting some P-Vans over there.
Okay, I need some correction vans to West 14th and 5th.
Advance arrest. Mobile Rhino 7 Essential. Group is moving east on... Large group walking east on 4-8 to 6. East on 4-8 from 6? East on 4-8 to 7.
4-8 to 7. What's the condition over there? Just a group walking westbound, okay?
No, it's a only group of 500 walking towards Avenue right now. Right, Central, they're making a right, going southbound towards 4-7.
4-7 and 5th?
Right here. Going. Great job, Central. Keep it up. You got to begin with your location. Central, they're on. So they'll stop at 486. Detail, Lieutenant. South. Detail Sergeant, Central.
Detail Sergeant, go with your message.
Copy. Central, we get a couple of calls over here to help clear out the internet. They will stop at 486.
486 or 486?
486.
10-4, we need an additional unit to 486.
476.
476. 476.
Captain Zhang on the air. Detail Sergeant.
Tell Sergeant, go with your message.
Yeah, Detail Sergeant. It's about 100 to 150 approximately. They're approaching 46 as we speak.
Okay.
I have bikes leading the crew.
Alright, all units at 6. Give me one for voice change.
Thank you, Central. Thank you. Done.
Direct to ICP.
Yeah, Detail Lieutenant Central. We need to Fifth Avenue. We got 2 under Central. CB1 mobile.
Detail Lieutenant, what's the place in 4, 5, and 6?
We need to feed in over here. Got 2 under.
Detail Lieutenant, what's the location, Cass?
Got P-Van on East 14 and Floyd. Use the pin. 10-5 that. I need it.
E-Wagon.
At East
14.
and 5th Ave. That's 4 in route.
14 and 5, E-Wagon 302 Central. 302.
P-Wagon's en route.
That's 4, detail portable 302.
Handle, Sergeant. Can I get a P-Wagon of 13 and 5? 13 and 5. We have one coming ready. 14 and 5 en route. 10-4, we're going to walk our guys up to 14 and 5. That's affirmative. 10-4.
9 detail 302 to Central. 9 detail 302. Can I get a wagon to respond for 9 under? Location 302. 302, what's your location? Mercer and Grand. Alright, 10-4. We need another wagon to Mercer and Grand for 9 under.
P-Wagon and Val, which is, give us the location again.
My last location was Mercer and Grand for 9 under. David, 6 David. Alright, mobile 302, under time for your 9 under is 2202 hours, 2202 hours.
Third Sloan, clear, balance of grove, indication entry door.
Here's monitor radio 2202, monitor portable. 13 CO. 13 CO, go with your message, okay?
Hey, the unit that's keying in the radio, stop it. You're going to get somebody hurt. Be advised, conditions are back to normal here. We have 2 more lines later. One, 3 CO, you good? 909, Lieutenant, Central. Post 909, Lieutenant, Central.
Post 909, Lieutenant.
We need a P-Van over here, West 9 and 5th Avenue.
West 9 and 5?
In the front.
I need another wagon to 9 and 5, 9 and 5.
Central, I was on location, West 5.
West 9, 5 and 5?
5. East 9 and 6.
10-4, East 9 and 5. Need a wagon to East 9 and 5.
10-4, we'll get a wagon there right now.
10-4, thank you.
Central, do you have an ETA and multiple P-vans over here over 25 o'clock?
Is that for 9 and 5?
And 5 over 25. I said a whole P-van.
Travis, I have an ETA for a wagon to 9 and 5. ETA for a wagon to 9 and 5.
Central, we get your ETA right now. How many bodies they have?
They have over 25K, over 25.
10-4 Central, we'll get them a correction bus here and just give us a minute.
10-4, thank you.
What is that? Car 2 out here? On the air. Body, look. SRG, you have 14 and 5? SRG, you have an ETA 14 and 5? Let me check on it. Not too long. 5 minutes out or so. Good. Give me a minute, all right? All right, 4. Relax.
I can't find it 2205 hours, 2205 hours. Stop doing that nonsense.
Mobile 907, Essential.
Mother 907.
Keep going south on 6th Avenue, just about 42nd Street now. It's still orderly.
10-4, 6 and 4 2.
Be advised, I have a large group going towards Broadway and 14. Do we got a number on that Broadway 14? They look at least 100 deep.
About 200 bicycles. Alright, Broadway and 14 is bicyclists, about 200, 100 and 200? About 200 bicycles also on Broadway 14.
And North Lieutenant Lee on the air? Lieutenant Lee, Manhattan North on the air?
Be advised, some of that group is peeling off onto Lafayette and 13th Street, heading northbound on Lafayette.
For Lafayette and 13th, can you advise how many is going that
Be advised,
direction?
they're breaking into the store on 13th and Lafayette, Central.
Alright, 13th and Lafayette, what store is that?
There's multiple people in the location, 13th and Lafayette. Group is about 200 people.
Mobile Fuel 4611, Captain New is on.
About 300 people, corner of Lafayette and 13th. Multiple people inside the location.
Can you give me a better location for Lafayette and 13th, Cash?
The corner of Lafayette, 13th Street.
Fourth Avenue. Might be Fourth Avenue.
Transport 4013. Transport 4013. Mobile Fuel 4611, Captain New is on here.
Let's get some Central.
You're just bringing us to 4th and 13th. Have people breaking us as the location 4th and 13th.
Field Force 500, are you on? Correct. Field Force 500, respond to that. 10-4.
Detail Inspector Central. What's your location, Kay? Where are you? What's your location, Kay? Give me your location. You requested additional. What's your location? You understand by this? You requested additional. What's your location, Kay? 106 CPW Central.
50,001
CPW Central.
CPW 6 West.
Chief of Central. Let's verify the address, please.
They're riding CPWs in here the other street. Unit requesting additional. You're on CPW on what?
106 CPW.
102 CPW?
Chief of Special Operations for Central.
Chief Special Ops.
Issued by the Manhattan Bridge. ICO.
ICO.
Southwest corner.
What location, Kay?
Southwest corner. 5. We've been so well in
Aviation unit over the air by Central Park West. They're an aviation unit over Central Park West. I can advise you this unit is just requesting additional.
22.
Aviation 20.
SOL on the air. 23XO. 5th Atlantic. 20 Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
They're calling it no further for that 2-4. 23XO, no further. No further. Mobile 907. No further. No further to 106 or CPW. No further.
Alright, 10-4. That's a no further to 106 and CPW. No further 106 and CPW.
Just put it over on channel 2.
Alright, 10-4. That's a no further at this time to 106 and CPW. No further.
Mobile 907.
What's the message, Cash?
Group on 6th Avenue is still headed south in the wrong direction. And they're coming up on 36. 36 and 6.
At 10-4, 36 and 6.
Give me the Honda time for 5 and 14. Get on the air.
That's detail lieutenant on 5 and 14?
Multiple Honda, what's the Honda time?
How many did you have under, Kay?
36. Detail Lieutenant Central.
Detail lieutenant?
Yeah, show me what one under for Mercer Street, please.
Alright, take the under time for was 26 under at 2213 hours, 2213. You're welcome.
En route, Central.
Time for you got an ETA for me?
2 minutes.
Time for that wagon is 2 minutes, okay, 2 minutes.
That's to be advised, large group of crowds going westbound on East 17th Street.
Time for westbound on 17.
It's going to be the intersection of East 17th where they're traveling westbound. Large group.
Alright, East 17 in Union Square, you have a number on that group?
500. 600.
Time for. Monitor your portables, 2216. Monitor your radios.
Chaz.
East on 111 from Manhattan, following a roving band of about 60 people.
111 and what, sir? The East on 111 and what? For the group of 60?
I'm sorry, eastbound on West.
Eastbound on what?
Eastbound on West 111. They just turned eastbound. They were north on Manhattan, turned east on West 111.
For group of 60, orderly at this time?
Hard to tell. Occasional outbursts.
So, you need any additional at this time?
HOU unit raiser?
Yeah.
HOU CO.
Central, where do you need reinforcements? Is it Broad 14 yes? 14 and 4th? Or 14 and 5th?
Can anybody advise the location you need additional units for HOU to respond? 1, 4, and 5 or... Detail Lieutenant, you need additional 14 and 5 at this time? Southbound on 6 at 3-2.
Correction bus on the air? Horrible.
What's the message?
10265.
I'm in front of 265 what?
465 Park Ave. Show me on a pickup of the 11, 281 9th Avenue.
That was a pickup of what at 281 9th Avenue?
A 1011 alarm.
Alright, 10-4.
No further, by the way.
10-4.
Sergeant Livingston, SRG on the air. Sergeant Livingston, on the air, go. Yeah, be advised, we're going to need 3 correction buses. 3 correction buses for the Manhattan Bridge.
Unit, check your portables, Cat time is 20 to 21 hours.
2-4 portable.
2-4 portable.
2 Park Avenue West. On this time, please.
Alright, 2-4 portable, so get on the time is 20 to 22 hours. 20 to 22 for 1 under. 2-4 portable, right?
20, Central.
Station 20.
Be advised, we got a large group, 23rd Street and 5th Avenue, 23rd and 5th.
What's the size of your group, K? Another orderly.
UCO to Central.
ACOCO?
Yo, can we have a prisoner van come over to Broadway, Houston? 10-5.
I need a van to Broadway and Houston at the time. Broadway and Houston for a wagon.
Well, that's midnight.
We're going to check your portables, Cat time 20 to 23 hours. Alright, this time need a prisoner wagon to Broadway and Houston. Broadway and Houston. Aviation 20 on the air, Aviation 20.
Aviation 20 is on the air. Yeah.
For 2, 3, and 5, can you advise the size of your group?
Approximately 200.
10-4, they orderly, in what direction are you traveling?
At this time, they appear to be orderly.
That's where you got a direction of travel?
North Inspector, Central.
Manhattan, North Inspector.
Show me following the patrolling group, 76 southbound on west at 101.
It's portable.
Okay, Manhattan, North. How's the location of the last group that you were following?
107 to 106 southbound on Central Park West, about 75. At this time, they are orderly.
Intel portable Central, you have a disorderly group, 316, breaking into stores.
Alright, 10-4, 3-1 and 6. 10-4, 3-1 and 6, breaking into stores. Right, K.
107 Central. 107, that's the group is southbound on 6th Avenue. They just passed that location. They broke a store window on the corner of 31 and 6.
Alright, 10-4, 3-1 and 6. Take 3-1 and 6, right direct.
Central, did anybody tell us for the prison van to Broadway and Houston?
I do have a wagon going to Broadway and Houston, Broadway and Houston. Cat time is 22, 25 hours. Have a wagon going to Broadway and Houston. Is there a wagon going to Broadway and Houston? Intel portable. Intel portable, go with your message, okay?
Intel portable to Central.
Intel portable, go with it.
Central, notify the group on the Manhattan Bridge is starting to head back towards Brooklyn.
Manhattan back to Brooklyn North, operation. I got the group that's on the Manhattan Bridge heading back into Brooklyn at this time. All units be advised, group on the Manhattan Bridge is heading back into Brooklyn. Intel portable, what's the time of that? Cat time is 22.
What niggas that, bro? Shut up. PD. On radio. 2 Sergeant Central.
2 Sergeant.
Show me what you want. These Lafayette Central. Can I be the van response?
That was Lafayette for what, Kay? Intel portable, that's Lafayette for what?
That's Broom Street in Lafayette.
Alright, 10-4, Broom and Lafayette for 2 under. Can I get a wagon of Broom and Lafayette for 2 under transport?
Central, we're going to have 3 under. We also have 1 on 10 Mile in Lafayette.
Alright, 10-4, you can take your under time for all 3 at 2207, 2207. Intel portable?
Tavares from Manhattan North ICC.
Go for the ICC, boss.
Be advised we have about 65 protesters orderly by 104 and Central Park West, heading southbound.
Zone 2, Sergeant 1 Central.
Zone 2, Sergeant 1.
Me with 1 on that last hit, Mary Street. Let me have wagon at my location.
Alright, 10-4, Lafayette and Murray.
Get them Ken Mary Street.
Alright, 10-4, Lafayette to Ken Mary. Take your under time at 2228 for your 1 under. Can anybody advise if I have a wagon going to Broadway and Houston, Broadway and Houston?
A4CR, red direct.
Alright, 10-4, also need 1 going to Lafayette. We need 1 going to Lafayette and Broome, and also Lafayette and Kenmore. Lafayette and Kenmore.
Let's get all. Central AMF, 5th and 5th, large group.
Have the location for the email?
25th and 5th.
Alright, 25 and 5, airmail at West 25 and 5.
To a correction, 6th Avenue, West 25 and 6.
Alright, 10-4, got airmail at 6th Avenue, West 25, 6th Avenue, West 25. Let me get additional to that location of airmail.
Field force 500, show call.
10-4, units respond on arrival live, airmail at West 25 and 6, West 25 and 6.
Forest Fox 606 on you.
Captain Levinsky, Field Force 603 on the air.
On the air.
Captain, if 603 is available, can you send him up to location? I'm sorry, Tank 5. Aviation 20, Central.
Aviation 20.
On the Manhattan Bridge, seems like they are clearing out from the Manhattan side. They are now walking back over to the Brooklyn side. It looks like a crowd of approximately 1,500 to 2,000 people.
1,500 to 2,000 people across the Manhattan Bridge, 10-4.
Central, can you provide the message for got from the rescue?
Bravo Police Academy to
Alright, that last message that we needed additional for airmail at West 25 and 6, West 25 and 6.
West 25 and 6, a couple of field forces over here.
605, can you go over there, please? 908, show it's going.
Alright, 10-4, got 605 and 908 en route.
Central, give a hand bars for a sick prisoner at 14 and 5.
At 14 and 5 for a sick prisoner, 10-4.
And North, Inspector Ortiz, Central.
Manhattan North Inspector.
Lead car for the group of protesters on Central Park West. Not to allow this group to make travel westbound on 100.
Detail Sergeant.
4 arrests have been made, and we don't want these protesters to make their way over there.
We need FD at 90 and Columbus. 90 and Columbus.
Alright, what's the condition at 90 and Columbus? What's the condition for 90 and Columbus?
Trash fire, trash.
10-4, I think it's being notified. 10-4, 90 and Columbus, trash fire red. The trash fire at 90 and Columbus, 90 and Columbus, trash fire. Mobile 212 is 84 at 25 and 6. So what's the message for Central? We got a large group, West 25 and 6, Central. Mobile 212 is 84. 25 and 6, still need additional units. I need additional units to 25 between 6 and 7. 25, 6 and 7. Alright, 10-4, got airmail 25 between 6 and 7. Let me get additional units to 25, 6 and 7.
5 and 5.
Location, can you still on 25 and 6? Let me get additional 25, 6 and 7. 25, 6 and 7.
Over 5 and 6.
Field 4, 604.
605, go over to that location, please.
Got 604 en route as well.
605 is in row. 605 is in row.
10-4. Uniform and no further.
5 and 6. Slow it down.
Alright, that's a no further to 25 and 6.
Which direction is that group heading in?
27 towards 8. 27 towards 8.
Alright, 10-4, they're on 27 heading towards 8th Avenue.
Totally group 2727. Alright, they go. Show 18 in the bars.
Mobile fuel plus.
Alright, ETA for that bus on 14th and 5. That bus is going to be 5 minutes out. 5 minutes out for 14 and 5.
Mobile fuel plus.
Van 9 group 27.
On call coming down 27.
Off road to Captain. Yeah.
Aviation 20 Central.
Aviation 20.
Be advised, that group on 27, they look like they're carrying bats. A few people are carrying bats.
Alright, time for units we have. For units we advise the group that's traveling down 27 towards 8, just carrying bats.
2767 from Central. Central, be advised, they also put barriers in the middle of the street.
Off road to Captain Nunes. Captain Nunes on the air.
F5 on block, that's on.
Captain Nunes on the air.
Captain Nunes is on the air.
Floyd, can you have mobile fuel force with longitude?
You're coming in broken up, F5.
With longitude 7 as well.
Aviation 20 Central.
Aviation 20.
The group on 27, be advised that they're between 6th and 7th Avenue. They seem like they put barriers up in the street. Trash and barriers in the street. Captain Nunes, where do you want me to respond?
27.
6 and 2.
Alright, time for got protesters setting up blockades on 27 between 6th and 7th Avenue. This time, 27 between 6th and 7th Avenue. Also be advised that group is possibly carrying bats.
Central, get some P-vans up there and start putting handcuffs on people.
Alright, time for let me get some.
Northbound on 6. Northbound on 6th Avenue.
Time for northbound and 6th Avenue. Can I get a wagon to 27 and 6, 27 and 6?
Mobile 4606. Mobile 4606 on the air. Wait, 10-5? Mobile field 4606 on the air. Mobile 4606 is on the air. Can you head over to 25 and 6 for Captain Brown, please?
GI, I'm in the 46 ICP.
Stop the 25 and 7. Stop there.
GI, be advised, we have several units at 26 and 7. The group dispersed.
First, they went to the other way. Go. Okay.
They're on 7 and 6.
Approaches 2, 3, and 5th. To be advised, the crowd approaches 2, 3, and 5th on bikes.
Alright, that's going to be 2, 3, and 5 on bicycles. 2, 3, and 5.
Sergeant has my SRG on the air.
Double wagon headed.
20, be advised, the crowd is on 6th Avenue and 29th Street now. Mobile 612, 2, 3, and 5th. 2, 3, and 5th.
Unit 2, 3, and 5.
2, 7 and 7.
On 605, we have a crowd of about 300, 400 people. 2, 3, and 5th.
Central, we have a large crowd over here at 3016. 3016.
Time for 306, 306.
Can I get to the ICP?
The inspector.
Get 2 mobile field forces over there and start making towers for the curfew.
All on portable. 632, Inspector D on the air.
Can you send some of your fuel ports down there? We're tied up here at 25 and 6. Let me see when I can peel off. Going eastbound on 23rd from 7.
Alright, 10-4, eastbound on 2, 3, and 7.
Central, let me get a few down to 2, 5, and 6. I have 2 on though.
Alright, 2, 5, and 6, 10-4. Let me get a van to 2, 5, and 6. Can I get a van to 2, 5, and 6? This time, can I get a van going to 2, 5, and 6? 2, 5, and 6 have 2 under at the location.
Cat detail.
Go with that.
10-4, I'll send a van.
10-4, thank you.
We need units to come.
10-5, the location, so you know,
31 and 6. 31 and 6, they're breaking into a store.
10-4, 31 and 6 Avenue. 10-5.
From 6.
Personnel. Central 29.
Units, you're stepping on each other's transmission. Who's requesting additional at 29th Street?
Cross to 29 and 6. Driving 30 and 6th Avenue.
3-1 running towards Broadway.
Units, your portables, monitor your radios.
Lieutenant to Central.
10-5, the last unit is Central.
Sector 5, Lieutenant Central.
Sector 5, Lieutenant.
Can we have 2 P-Vans to East 14th and 5th Avenue, please?
I need 2 vans to 1, 4, and 6. 1, 4, and 6. 2 vans to 1, 4, and 6.
10-4.
10-4, thank you.
14th Central.
10-5,
1,
the
4,
last
and
unit.
6 Central. We're sending a van right now.
10-4, thank you.
Central.
Last unit raising 10-5.
I need a P-Van, West 25 and 6th Avenue, okay? West 6th Avenue, okay? 1, 4, and 6th Avenue. They need 2 prisoner wagons, correct?
Affirmative. I also need 1 more going to 2, 5, and 6. They have 2 under at the location. 2, 5, and 6. 10-4, thank you. 10-5, the last.
Which P-Wagon was that en route to where?
Is en route to 2, 5, and 6. I have 1 going to 14 and 6 at the time of the
Okay, everyone, Andy Pollack back live. I had a phone call. I was glad to finally talk to my friends tonight.
There's 1 going to 2, 5, and 6.
Yeah, but I have been keeping an eye on the situation while I've been talking to my friends. We're looking right now. This is the Manhattan Bridge. Yes, this is the Manhattan Bridge. And I know it's the Manhattan Bridge because the Manhattan Bridge has an HOV line. The Brooklyn Bridge doesn't. Protesters right now are marching along the Brooklyn Bridge. So it looks like the police are trying to stop the protesters. Which, that doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't you want the protesters to march over the bridge? Oop, didn't mean to mute the radio. Okay. So, is this the Brooklyn side of the bridge? I'm confused. I don't know if that's the Gowanus Expressway. Somebody could help me out here. That would be good. Because I can't check my tablet right now. I'll have to check my phone. We're going to get Matt Camper on. Because he was just sending me some tips. I'll try to get him on LTE. And we'll see if Matt can illustrate the situation.
West side response 4.
There is no Queens bus service in both directions because of ongoing protests in Manhattan and Queens.
Wow, no interborough bus service. That's very alarming.
That was 89 in Columbus?
Okay, so the protesters right now are on the Manhattan Bridge. I can't confirm this right now. You just heard it on the scanner. I was thankfully able to see the HOV lane. Because again, the Manhattan Bridge does have an HOV lane.
7:37 p.m. train from Bud.
Nope.
The 9:48 p.m. train from Penn due Port Washington at 10:35 p.m. is being held at Penn due to switch trouble near Woodside Station. LIRR personnel are...
Oh great, problems on the Long Island Railroad. Just what we don't need right now.
By the way, we have a lot of racing going on this weekend.
Not related.
Then,
nope.
That will begin at...
Nope.
We have a fugitive on the psychopath. Amtrak signal trouble at the dock bridge on the World Trade Center New...
So again, even Mass Transit's having a meltdown during these protests. Unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. I know Matt's excited for NASCAR. I can understand that.
What's your location? Email, what's your location? You can put over airmail. What's your location, Kev?
Check my YouTube.
Sorry, 25 and 6 have additional airmail coming in at 25 and 6 have. 25 and 6. Let me get additional traffic for airmail.
605, headed over there.
10-4, okay, show you a route, arrive alive. Let me get additional 25 and 6 for airmail. 25 and 6 for airmail.
Okay, nothing at the moment.
That's 25 and 6 for airmail. 25 and 6 for airmail.
Yep.
Back to the vehicle.
Now, what I don't understand is why do they park a correction bus on the Manhattan Bridge? To me, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, now the bus is moving, it looks like, slowly. But you were looking at it, and you were hearing it on the scanner. Protesters marching on the Manhattan Bridge. Yeah, that's definitely the Manhattan Bridge. From the helicopters zooming out.
Protesters on 19th Street traveling eastbound from Columbus.
And I want to mention that I was getting text messages from Andrew Lee, and I'll read the text messages that he was texting me while I was talking to my friends.
We have 4 people coming 23rd west towards. We need units to block them off.
We could be having a situation at Columbus Circle. We're gonna have to monitor that because the Nordstrom
Come out. There's some guys coming your way. Stop.
was vandalized the other day.
What's the location of that group? When you want them?
7 to stop them. Coming out 2-3 from 6.
Alright, 10-4, can I get a unit on 2, 3, and 7 to block the crowd? 2, 3, and 7?
Are they moving northbound or southbound?
They're coming from 6th Avenue. Coming from 6th Avenue. 3rd Street, 6 to 7. Let me get a unit at 2, 3, and 7.
There. That could be a big pain in the butt.
West 20 of 7th Ave going westbound.
Alright, 10-4, heading westbound.
Oh boy. I didn't pay attention, but did the bus make a U-turn? Yep, the police are not messing around tonight. They are taking this curfew very seriously. They realized the protesters got out of hand once they went on the Manhattan Bridge.
That no further to 237 at this time? 7th Avenue, West 21st Street, no further. 10-4, that's a no further to 7th Avenue 23, no further to 7th 23. No further.
Let me just remove the city it's weak on my phone because I have to get rid of it. It was slowing down my internet. I figured out what was causing my issue earlier today. That's back to my original home screen, which that would help. Yes, there was a police-involved shooting in Brooklyn. Oh no! There was a protest in Whitestone this afternoon, and somebody was trying to break it up. And here's the sad reality, nobody from the 111 precinct even responded. That is sad.
2, 5, and 6.
Andy Q, I will mention that Fresh Meadows is no noise tonight. I only heard one noise now and maybe police sirens. But again, you can hear a pin drop. But sorry to run out, but I think one of my neighbors just broke the curfew. About an hour ago, I noticed one of my neighbors started their vehicles, and they're violating curfew. So I don't know where they're going, but I hope they're not protesting. So, I'm going to read to you a couple text messages that Andrew Lee had sent to me.
How many do you have on the car?
Right now. Yes. NYPD officer involved shooting at Rochester Avenue and Dean Street in Brooklyn. Reports of an officer shot a perpetrator. Possible multiple victims. And then I asked Andrew, any update regarding protesters marching on 125th Street in Harlem, because he was telling me privately we could have a situation. And then Andrew had mentioned they're going on Amsterdam Avenue and 100th Street. And then he texted me, just got word, 2,000 protesters at the Apollo Theater right now on 125th Street in Harlem. So, you're seeing this protest on the Manhattan Bridge. This definitely looks like they're marching into Brooklyn. I can tell that's Brooklyn because I've been on the Manhattan Bridge numerous times where I've taken the Q train to Atlantic Avenue and Barclays. And from experience, that's definitely Brooklyn. If they were taking the Manhattan Bridge, they had to be coming from Houston Street. At least from Houston Street. Uh-oh, out-of-state plate being reported. Andrew Lee, if you're watching right now, I'm going to check the Citizen app to confirm that report you were saying regarding the, Oh, that's why I heard the sirens going by my area. There was a smoke in the apartment building in my area. Jewel Avenue and 161st Street.
4 on that location.
10-4, got it.
10-4, thank you.
Right.
10-4, unit that was requesting additional on Broadway and 14th on the air.
Yes, numerous reports in Brooklyn right now. I'm seeing a lot of red in Brooklyn.
4-0.
Yeah, you got a group of about 1,000 protesters, 14th and Broadway.
This time.
Waited. I'm just checking anything from Harlem.
They're blocking this
St. Nicholas
Central.
Avenue.
They're 6 south of this.
Yes, crowd is gathered at West Nicholas Avenue and West St. Nicholas Avenue and West 125th Street in Harlem.
South on Broadway, Central. South on Broadway.
Again, I'm not seeing anything near the Apollo Theater, so...
We need a transport van for 5 at 2, 3, and 7.
Yes, large crowd did gather at Central Park, a block away from Central Park North. At Malcolm X Boulevard, okay.
Prisoner transport captain. Transport van is on its way to 237 now.
Transport, got 5 on that location, okay? I have additional units requested for Broadway and East 14, Broadway 14.
Go 237.
Kristen Ball.
Transport, okay, thank you.
It could hit the Gulf Coast sometime Sunday evening.
Folks, I'm sorry to break in, but we may have an update regarding Tropical Storm Cristobal. Yeah, this is important. I'm gonna break into the coverage for a second and just mute the scanner. Matt, what do you have to say about Tropical Storm Cristobal? We're gonna put him on right now.
Good. Tropical Storm Cristobal. It could hit the Gulf Coast sometime Sunday evening, sometime around 8, 9, 10 o'clock local time. And guess where it may make landfall? Somewhere, the National Hurricane Center has it right now hitting potentially somewhere between Lafayette and Louisiana and New Orleans.
Oh.
It could make a direct hit on Baton Rouge, Louisiana as well. Good.
Now, my question to Matt would be, would it make landfall as a hurricane or a cat or a trop storm? That's a good question.
9:36 p.m. train from Jamaica to the mid 12:20 a.m. is being detained Patron due to police activity again near Mystic Shirley. There are reports of protests going on along Sunrise Highway in Mastic. Could this be the police activity that is causing these problems in the Mid-Talk branch right now? Ugh, can't make this stuff up.
I'm going to ask Matt the situation with the hurricane. Hang on. Matt, I'm on the air right now. I just played your voicemail of the issue with the Cristobal. Thank you for keeping me posted and everybody regarding Mod Talk. The question is right now, does the National Hurricane Center think it's going to be a drop storm or a Cat 1 hurricane on Sunday? Matt, I'm on the air right now. Alright, we're going to hear from Matt in a second because I am curious because keep in mind, not only with the protests and not only with this coronavirus, New York City tomorrow could experience weather. Severe weather around 3 p.m. tomorrow with severe thunderstorms and potential damaging hail. So, I will be monitoring that tomorrow. Let me just get some water because I was on the phone for an hour. Matt's going to get back to us shortly. So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to join into WABC TV. And we'll try to join in. You know what? Let me go on Hulu. Yeah. That might help me. Hang on, we'll get on Hulu. Yeah, Hulu should be loading like that. Because, again, I changed the settings today. Thankfully, with the settings tomorrow, I shouldn't have any issues. Hopefully not. And here's the only issue. Today's Tuesday. Today's Mega Millions. So I don't know what will happen with Mega Millions. I mean, I'm sorry. They should just say, we have an emergency in New York City tonight. They should just say, you know what? Don't add the Mega Millions. If you want to get Mega Millions, go online tonight. Because this is not the night for the lottery. Okay, we have an emergency in the city tonight. Emergency. Right? Anybody understand that? Emergency. Uh-oh, I hope I'm not streaming the wrong thing. I mean, not. Yep, sadly, problems on the Mod Talk line. Sadly, on the Mod Talk line, we are having problems this late at night. Well, wow, this has to come down this way. Here's the update for Cristobal.
Right now, and I was just slowly looking at the National Hurricane Center forecast. This is what the National Hurricane Center is predicting as of right now. This could change. As of 7 p.m. local time on Sunday, it's expected as of right now to be a tropical storm. As of right now, and again, I'm looking at the wind speed probabilities. The National Hurricane Center is not predicting any hurricane force wind potentials in this storm within the next 120 hours. So it sounds more and more like this could remain a tropical storm. But again, this is subject to change.
All right, Matt, thank you for telling everybody that. Let's keep an eye on it. And again, we're going to have to monitor the severe weather tomorrow for our region, which is New York City. Because hopefully, if we do get the severe weather, let's say it does come down this way, and I'll tell everybody this right now, we could have a situation where the protesters could say, look, we have the severe weather right now, and we can't go out and protest. All right, Matt, thank you for telling everybody that. It's going to take Mother Nature to change everything. That's the bottom line.
Now includes a ban on all traffic in Manhattan, south of 96th Street.
All right, so we're going to join into WABC right now. So please stand by. We're now going to join WABC.
Well, Sandra and Bill, it's clearly a much different night from last night. Those pockets of drama notwithstanding. This is 96th and 2nd. Police are here, as they are on every southbound avenue at 96th Street, stopping cars, making sure people are either essential workers or it's people who live in Manhattan under 96th Street. And as a result, already empty streets because of the pandemic are tonight deserted. With the city locked down tonight, things seem so much different. Times Square is silent and streets empty after an 8 p.m. curfew. Police tonight are hoping they'll be able to keep the peace. Terry Monahan is the NYPD's top chief.
There's never been a playbook. This has never happened before. We are all working and changing as each and every day goes by, making adjustments to anything that happens.
Last night, it was mayhem. Gangs of looters roamed the city, from the ritzy retail of Madison Avenue to the Macy's flagship on Herald Square to the Fordham section of the Bronx, where fires burned in the streets as looters rampaged through businesses. And over the last several days, Monahan says 170 officers have been hurt, from a sergeant run over by a car to an officer set upon by a mob to this lieutenant smashed in the head with a brick.
What happened in Minnesota was wrong. Protest that's just. But the violence against police officers, that's not just. Going into stores, looting, that's not just.
These people have nothing to do with the protest. Nothing.
Like Mandeep Kumar's Midtown cell phone store, his livelihood for 18 years. Last night, he lost everything.
They only had to rob the city. And the sad part is nobody is stopping them. And the mayor should be embarrassed. He should be ashamed of himself. You know, he's ruining the city.
Today, as small business owners picked up the pieces, the governor and the mayor squared off against each other yet again.
And the police in New York City were not effective at doing their job last night.
He owes an apology to 36,000 hardworking men and women who have been putting their lives on the line for all of us.
Well, after peaceful protesters went home tonight, some stragglers, police say, were intent on picking fights. But by and large, it seemed like peace might prevail in Manhattan, at least for now.
And back live, this is a prime reason why they continue to operate these checkpoints basically anywhere you can get into the borough of Manhattan under 96th Street. And as a result, we've heard of no actual looting incidents tonight, in spite of a few incidents of people violating the curfew who ended up getting arrested. By the way, NYPD detectives right now are actively using camera and license plate reader information to try to track down many of the looters who drove into the city last night. We're live on the Upper East Side. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Josh, thank you. Actually, we did find one place, Josh, that was looted. Shannon Sohn, live in Newscopter 7 over Chelsea, over a store that was just hit. Shannon.
Yeah, it was just hit. This is a CVS at the corner of West 25th Street and 6th Avenue, but you can see the police presence here is extraordinary. We're just going to bring you in to the corner where the CVS is, and you can see the glass on the ground there. For a while, it was a standoff between police and protesters and looters in this area because they were running away from these police officers, much like the video we showed you earlier on in the broadcast. You know, it's an interesting night tonight. We've been flying since about 8 o'clock. And when the curfew first went in, it almost seemed like a challenge to see what the police would do if protesters could get into the city or if they were going to be turned away. But the big difference between last night and tonight, from our perspective at least, is it seems like police are literally swarming the city. Every street you look down, you see lines of police cars and officers out in full gear. Even with the presence of the police officers, we did have this looting incident here at the CVS at 25th and 6th, but things are definitely a little calmer tonight, although much more filled with police activity. Reporting live over 25th Street, Shannon Sohn, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Shannon, thank you very much. And you are correct. Tonight's protests have mostly been peaceful, though there have been some tense moments, like this one on the Manhattan Bridge tonight when police and protesters came face to face. Eyewitness News reporter Mike Marza is live in Lower Manhattan with more. Mike?
So I can tell you the drama finally ended about 25-30 minutes ago peacefully. In fact, some of the officers now thinning out. I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds of officers here earlier. If you take a look at some of the group of officers here right at the entrance to Manhattan on the Manhattan Bridge, they were stationed here. But meanwhile, there were other buses being brought in behind them as these protesters and police officers were in this standoff for about 90 minutes. And then about 25-30 minutes ago, the protesters simply turned around and walked back to Brooklyn. No massive arrest or anything like that. A peaceful ending to what could have been so much more. And it ended today a peaceful protest throughout Manhattan. If we take a look at some of the video, a protest that started at Foley Square earlier today that lasted hours, stretching some 7 miles into the Upper West Side, the Upper East Side, on the way going through Soho, some of those very looted shops that we've been reporting on throughout the day. And a diverse group among the crowd, many chanting Black Lives Matter. We found a father who was watching Channel 7 earlier today, saw the protests were headed near his Upper East Side home, took his 9 and 13-year-old daughters, they made a sign, and they stepped outside saying it is not only a lesson for his children, but a lesson for him as well.
I don't think I fully understand. I don't think I know how to properly articulate it without doing more, getting more educated myself. So we want to get out here and start learning.
Something that needs to be brought to awareness, you know. So thought we would do something, you know, come out here and show that we need to protest for this, like everyone else here.
And things finally calming down here after that 90 minutes of drama that played out here in Lower Manhattan. The officers now turning around and going back to their posts, back to their assignments. But as one protester told me earlier today, I said, so what's next? And she said, we'll be right back tomorrow demonstrating again. Live tonight in Lower Manhattan, Mike Marza, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Don't think anyone disputes that. Certainly not the police. Mike, thank you. By the way, New York State police officers were at Grand Central Terminal today. They seem to be blocking anyone with a sign from getting in. Those with tickets and no signs were, in fact, allowed in. We do have some more breaking news tonight. A deadly New York police shooting. The NYPD says a man firing shots at 2 people in Brooklyn, and when cops arrived, they fired at the gunman. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan, live at the scene in Crown Heights with the latest. Jim?
Belleville police just opened up Rochester Avenue here in Crown Heights just a short while ago as they wrap up their investigation into what led to 3 civilians, 2 police officers being injured here earlier this evening. It all happened right down the street here outside the Kingsborough houses. According to police, let's go to some video we shot just about 40 minutes ago. According to police, a suspect shot at least 1 and possibly 2 people. Police responding to that shot the suspect. He is dead. His gun recovered here at the scene. No crowds here yet, no protesters. We are a couple of miles from the Barclays Center where protesters gathered earlier tonight. Most of them walked over the Manhattan Bridge, as you heard from Mike Marza. So no crowds here as police investigate, again, what turned into the suspect who originally shot the 2 other people, according to police, was shot by police. He is dead. His gun recovered here at the scene. No word on what led to the police officers being taken to the hospital. They were injured, but we do know that neither of them was shot and neither is in life-threatening condition. Reporting live from Crown Heights, Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Jim. A strong statement tonight from the Minneapolis Public School Board. It voted unanimously to terminate its contract with the city's police department. The board said the actions of the police in the killing of George Floyd runs directly counter to the values of the school district. Meanwhile, the state of Minnesota has filed a human rights complaint against the Minneapolis Police Department. It wants immediate interim measures as well as long-term changes to address what it calls systematic discrimination in the department.
Also in Minneapolis, the wife of the fired cop charged with killing George Floyd does not want to share his last name any longer. The divorce petition signed by Kelly Chauvin asked that she be allowed to change her surname, although she doesn't say publicly to what. The filing cites an irretrievable breakdown of their marriage. She filed for divorce a day after her husband, Derek Chauvin, was arrested.
Much like here in New York City, large demonstrations in Houston, Hollywood, and Chicago, and all across the country once again tonight. The ongoing civil unrest in response to the killing of George Floyd.
They're moving in with pepper spray. They're dispersing the crowd in Brockton.
Chaos on the streets of Boston tonight as police, you heard there, used pepper spray to break up that crowd of protesters. The demonstration appeared mostly peaceful, though. And in the nation's capital, demonstrators chanted outside the White House under the watchful eye of police and National Guard members as they ignored a 7 p.m. curfew. Hours before, protesters took a knee in a display of defiance over the way George Floyd died. And earlier, Senator Elizabeth Warren showed up at the White House protest, telling demonstrators President Trump is imposing violence on Americans.
New tonight, we have video inside a family-owned pharmacy in the Bronx when looters broke in and thoroughly trashed the place last night. We're going to show you the dramatic video, and you'll hear from a worker who spent this day trying to clean up this mess.
And time for AccuWeather from home. I'm meteorologist Lee Goldberg. We're gearing up for some strong storms tomorrow as the summer switch is flipped on in a hurry. Already the humidity is actually increasing tonight, and we're watching a few storms. We're still near about 70 degrees at 11 o'clock. Southwest wind at about 7 miles an hour. Look at the thunderstorms working into the Poconos and Catskills. So that's going to move through the area between about midnight and let's say 5 a.m. There are more off to the north and west. That's the appetizer. The main course, the damaging storms working through the upper Midwest, and that'll arrive here during the afternoon hours tomorrow. Storm Prediction Center has us in at least a slight to marginal risk of severe weather. The worst threat would be from New York City south and west during the day tomorrow, featuring downpours, damaging wind, maybe a little small hail. That's less impact. And tornado, very low probability, but not zero. It could be a small risk across the area. So the timing with the overnight storms, midnight to 5 a.m., then 1 o'clock in the afternoon to maybe 6 p.m. will be the next round of strong to severe storms. We'll time those storms in the latest futurecast, and we will track the third named storm of the season, Chris Stoble. It's all in the AccuWeather forecast. That's 6 minutes away.
Where were you when the world's greatest city fell silent? This is the full story, living in the epicenter from New York's #1 news.
Watch exclusively on our new connected TV apps for these devices. Search ABC7 New York.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. May I ask what you're doing in my house?
So happy to be with you.
All right, so that was WABC. So, if you're just joining, we were watching WABC, and thankfully I can report only one business has been looted tonight in the whole city. The CVS by Madison Square Park, 6th Avenue, and West 25th Street. Other than that, nothing else has been looted so far, but it could change. It could change. We are seeing people defy the curfew, like we've seen in other cities, but thankfully, we are not seeing as much violence as we were a couple days ago. That's the bottom line. So, I pled earlier tonight that we had to start behaving, and people are starting to listen. People are starting to listen, which is a good sign, but we're still seeing people gather in large crowds, and the bottom line is right now, it's 11:15, and that is some decent news that we are making progress today. Very good. Could be worse. Warning, the stream bit rate is lower than the recommended one. Why would I want to use a stream rate of 4,500 gigs? To me, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm lowering it so I can save bandwidth. So, I'm going to put the NYPD radio back.
Alright, Cooper Square and St. Mark's, what is it, for a large crowd? Lieutenant Vine. Polo Field, 911. Can you head over there? Billboard's 901
NYPD's having a press conference over that shooting.
Central 10-5, the location? That's Cooper Square and St. Mark's Place. Cooper Square, St. Mark's Place in regards to an addition with the location for a crowd case. Copy? Last time responding also. Alright, what you need responding?
Next 906, you show me going.
Alright, 10-4.
I'm going to check Steve Lookner from Agenda Free TV and see if he's monitoring a situation that's urgent.
401, kid?
401, I'm going to have Floyd over
So far it looks like a lot of peace today.
Alright, you said Broadway and what?
Broadway and East 12th.
East 12th and Broadway for 4 under, 10-4. Look, I'll give you another time now, 2317. Copy in regards? And you're SRG 401, correct?
SRG 401.
Oh, so protests got lifted in Portland tonight. This is funny. ABC News Live is showing WABC. This is funny. Let me show you. Let me show you. This is the ABC News Live feed on YouTube. Move it up. See? WABC is on right now. As I was just showing you. Crowd is gathering in Seattle. Oh,
11 under? Alright, 10-4. Can I get a wagon to 3rd and East 11 for 11 under for the HO unit center guy?
I'll just check KTLA.
3rd and East 11? Affirmative.
No, not live. Okay.
Okay, 1959. In the Cedar Race stop by 3rd and St. Mark's on the way. East weapon, please. We got a border pickup.
Okay, we're gonna join KNBC right now.
Alright, time now 2319. Officer safety alert. All MOS must be advised. Great Toyota Highlander, New York plates 253557 Manhattan. Purpose possibly armed with firearm. Second.
Completely voluntary for these individuals to remain up on this roof, and they simply don't want to come down. But it's just a case of delaying the inevitable. They will at some point be taken into custody.
Okay, let's join KNBC right now.
Big group over there? Thank you. So, Saro is hearing that there's another big group at Hollywood and Gower. And I will now communicate with Jack at the assignment desk. Jack, go ahead. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of officers here, Jack. They are. They already took everyone who was on the ground in custody, and now they're just here to take the people who are on the roof into custody. And you can look at all of the people there at the... So, Jack, since I think you're still there, did you want Hollywood and Gower, or should we wait this out a few more minutes? Are they the ones that were on the 101? Does it look visual? Don't see it? Okay.
The vandalism suspect are now the return to Polga at Bonds Market. Commons, code 210 3006, RD 1951. Suspect are now doesn't turn the Polga at Bonds Market, code 210 3006, RD 1951.
6-1 Raj. Force show me en route. Can you call back to PR, see if they still have any eyes on?
21 857, standby.
Go to the left, as in to the east, or to the right? Okay. That one right there? Okay, cool. How are we on fuel, Sarah?
9863, 9863, code 30 ringer. Keen 231, Magnolia Boulevard, code 2 incident, 2956, RD 952. 63, roger.
Where's that crowd that we heard about that was on Hollywood and Gower.
And
They've
desk
now
job.
made their way south.
Okay, we're gonna go back to New York. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to New York.
East 11 and 3rd. That's where you got a few there coming St. Mark's and East 3rd? Affirmative. St. Mark's and East 3rd Avenue? Affirmative, okay. Hands up. Bus 376 on the air. Central. Unit raising, okay. Say unit with the message, okay. Central, there's unmarked. They got a car stop at Houston and 2nd. Got a group forming here a little bit. Houston and 2nd. East Houston and 2nd in regards to a car stop? Field force to Houston and 2nd. Alright, I need the field force to respond to Houston and 2nd in regards to a car stop. See the group of protesters starting to congregate.
Sergeant.
Unit raised, okay?
Sergeant.
Proceed with the
Sergeant,
message.
Central, I have this one I'm holding here at East at the Lafayette. Transport coming?
Yeah, 10-4, Lafayette on Southern Street. Lieutenant Stowe, C2 on the air. Lieutenant Stowe on the air, go ahead. Your location. 10th and 4th Avenue. Sergeant, did you have one at Lafayette and East 3rd in regards? No first. Slow it down. Pushing down. That's for Houston in 2nd? They're south on 2nd for Houston on 2nd. Alright, 10-4. Grab the Central. This all going through. Central, don't get anybody hurt here. Slow it down. That group is south on 2nd. No, no further. 10-4. No further units out. Going in the park. Sorting south expo. Going. SRGT agreed to Central. You need a prisoner wagon at Lafayette and East 3rd? No, sir. I'm going to try to ascertain that. Do we need a P wagon in regards, Kay? You can swing by the location, Kay, because it's unclear this time. South 4 Central, let's send a P wagon there. Copy. Mobile 911 Central? Mobile 911. What's the return date from Manhattan? What's the return date?
Criminal court return date is 9:30.
Criminal court's 9:30? You have to bring it down to map sheet. The unit that needs to start, you still need a wagon there? What is this in unit? 175 Eldridge Street? 175 Eldridge Street? Well, what do we have at the location? 175 Eldridge. Alright, one additional 17. That 175 Eldridge, Delancey and Rivington? 175 Eldridge. And you're on Eldridge. Is there 85 on acre?
And in the tour. Thank you.
Detail portable central? Detail portable, go ahead. P-Van for 346. Did they interrupt on that? 346. Alright, send for it. There's P-Van. Let's go to 346. Pull it up. One block up. Pulling up. Alright, send for which wagon is responding? No further on Eldridge Street. No further on... Alright, send for detail captain. No further. Eldridge. Central, be advised. There's no wagon 1980. It's a block out from 346. 1981 is 84. 81 is 84, copy. 2331, copy. Non-FU, someone up. Okay, non-FU, someone up. All the central. All out, Sergeant. 11. P-Van, Astor and Cooper, 500. Astor and Cooper, 500. Alright, 10-4. I'll give you an under time of 23:31. Astor and Cooper. P-Van, catch the rest. Alright, 10-4. Who's taking the under in regards to that? Post 212. Mobile post 212, you taking the under? Sergeant 11, Sergeant. CO Central? Non-CO, go ahead. I'm on the St. Mark's and 2nd Avenue. 2nd Ave and St. Mark's? That's affirmative. Alright, 10-4. I'm going to give you one under. I'll give you an under time of 23:33K.
Highway CO Central.
Highway CO.
I have calling 85 on the Williamsburg Bridge BQE. Do you have any available units? Can you have them respond, please?
Williamsburg Bridge and the BQE, 10-4. And 85 at the location via highway?
Central.
Alright, 10-4. Sergeant going. Highway 2 Sergeant, you responding? 10-4. Highway Lieutenant, they're putting over no further at that location. Sergeant Central. 2 Sergeant, go ahead.
Said no. Have it under time from Jersey Street and Lafayette.
Alright, Jersey and Lafayette. Alright, 10-4. Alright, the under in regards to that, 23. I'll give it to you for 23:35. 10-4.
Show up with 2 under. And the captain had 1 under. 2 under. Who is it? 2? All right. Vandal Portable. We're going to have 2 under at Lafayette and Jersey Street.
10-4.
Slow it down, please.
10-4. No further units authority. Highway CO. Willie B and BQE.
Chief of Special Operations to Central.
Chief of Special Ops.
This is the end of 43 14th Street, 2 under over here. En route, Chief.
Alright, Chief of Special Ops, what's the location?
14th Street.
14th Street and
43 West 14th, Central.
copy. 43 West 14th? Copy.
Prisoner wagon en route. No emergency, thank you.
And you have how many under in regard?
Be 2 under, Central.
Alright, 10-4. I'll give you another time of 2336.
Detail Captain Central.
Detail Captain.
Central, I got 1 under at 175 Eldridge Street. P-Van for 1 under.
175 Eldridge, 10-4. I need an additional P-Van for 175 Eldridge for the under. Is there a P-Van on there? For the detail Captain. P-Van that's on the Cooper Square, go to Eldridge as well, okay?
Okay, we've lost WNBC's feed.
Central, can we get SD to 76 and Dab and Garfield Fire?
What's the location? What's the location, Captain? I got the 5th Avenue part. What's the other location, guys? The other cross.
17.
East 17th and 5th?
17.
10-4, you're requesting that for your location. I'll make your notification. Give me a What's on fire at the location?
A lot of garbage on fire.
Garbage fire? 10-4.
Oh, that's not good. Garbage fires.
Zone 2 Captain Central.
Zone 2 Captain, got it.
2 Captain Central.
Zone 2 Captain, you can proceed. I
have 4 under at Jersey and Lafayette.
Jersey and Lafayette? Alright, 10-4. You have 4 under at the location?
10-4, sir.
Alright, I'll give you another time of 23:48. 23:38, correction.
I need FP to respond at,
So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna take a look and see if CBSN New York is streaming.
18th and 8th Avenue, there's fire.
I don't even know. Good.
I just put it over.
Take a look.
Is that the same with 5th and 17th?
One and the same.
Because again, CBSN New York streams 24 hours a day. So.
That's why you have to stop putting fire can fires over.
10-4.
Go right, North Oak Cleveland,
do apologize. I have no idea why I'm not able to get CBS in New York. And I'll try to fix it. I just closed out of the feed. Not good. Not good. We'll fix it.
43 West 14. 43 West 14. Okay, ETA for the P-Wagon. They're en route, regardless. Copy. They're en route. Alright, 10-4. We got 2 on location. Copy. Your undersigned was 2336, remember?
Now I should get CBS in New York.
SRG Mobile Field Force 4-1 Captain on the air.
You can load them.
P-Wagon 1967, show me 84 at 43
That's something.
Copy, 2340.
SRG Captain Delgado on the air, okay.
Monday night was chaos. A deli looted, a furniture store emptied out.
I had there almost $300,000, $400,000 in bets on my business. I came as a truck driver, man. Nobody gives this to me. I worked.
Business owners in disbelief.
I'm black. Look what you did to my store.
When the sun came up, volunteers showed up to help clean. Tuesday afternoon, Musa Sissoho's family paid a few $100s to have their sneaker store on East Fordham Road boarded up.
I guess what we could do right now is maybe just go on social media and try to get updates of what's been going on.
SRG Captain, make that 9 bodies.
9. Undersigned the same, 2340. 2341.
Listen to this.
Special operation.
You're fraud. You're not from the owner. That's who you fucking work for. You're a fraud. And that's why we're here. You fucking fraud. Another Daniel Pantaleo. I can't fucking believe it.
Any more research?
Sergeant Central.
Unit resident? Any more research? Alright. Shot again, Kay. Cutting each other off. Got it.
Let's see this.
Sergeant, you Captain Mark.
Yes.
Lafayette and what's up the street, Kay?
This was we were watching earlier.
Alright, Stanford, you don't need to transport. Copy in regards.
So nothing in New York right now. I'm hearing.
5.
Cops were on both sides of the bridges. At both sides of the bridge.
Chief of Special Ops, you said you had 7 other, correct? Did you want to I'm on the air, Kay.
Yep.
Proceed. Shows with 15-3-0 and
Look at this.
Break into a liquor store in the
Protesters being arrested on 14th Street and 5th Avenue right now.
Alright, Stanford.
This is a video you're looking at.
Unit resident? 9CO. 9CO. Broadway East 4th. Broadway East 4th. What's going on at the location?
So,
200. Alright,
let's keep in mind, and again, I know this for a fact, the N and the Q run along the Manhattan Bridge. The R train would make sense to where you run the trains. Makes sense. Makes sense. Spoke too soon. Store got looted on East 13th Street and 4th Avenue. Here's the epic fail. There's no 4th Avenue. It's 4th and Lexington, right? Right, starting down there, you have it going until Lafayette, and Lafayette meets up with Houston Street.
Running up westbound on 30. Westbound on 30. 904 is 903 and 904 to Broadway.
Oh no. Somebody from the media got arrested.
19 Central. Aviation 19.
Yep.
Conducted the Lower Manhattan from
This is tweeted by Ali Bauman from CBS New York.
10-4.
Yep.
East, south, and south. Nothing at that location. Copy.
And I know who Ali Bauman is. You know, I've seen her on the CBS New York YouTube page. And then Matt Camper tweeted this earlier, that they were protesting along the William Floyd Parkway by Sunrise Highway. What doesn't make any sense is, why would you protest? De Blasio protest,
Attention, just be advised to put the no further over division west 30 and 8
I'm gonna retweet this one. De Blasio has plans to reopen subways. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, we'll just check Twitter, because Twitter always gets updated. Oh, look at this. Cops refuse to let protesters into the subways. You can't make this stuff up.
You want them to miss curfew? Let them go home.
What's this? Looks like this is Broadway. Oh no! This is Broadway and West 60th, right by Columbus Circle. That stinks. Why wouldn't they let them go on the subway? Right before curfew. That stinks.
You want?
That stinks.
Chief of Special Operations. Special Ops. On the 46 West 14.
And this is earlier from Bryant Park. There was a crowd gathered at Bryant Park earlier.
46 West 14. One more. 100. Come by 30 and 8th in the middle of the block on 30 between 7th and 8th. Between out.
Oh! What happened here?
What you have the under 46 and
Translate this tweet.
Special Operations stuff. Chief of Ops. Therefore.
Yes, Trump out 2020. You can do it on November 3rd.
You're not an ally! You're not an ally!
6th Avenue. 2348.
Soros store got looted tonight, it looked like. So another incident of looting.
West 14th. Negative. Alright, 10-4. 10-14. 5-6. 5-6. Recap and 10-4.
Oh, this is from last night.
6, 5-6. We're going to be 175 out. We have our own transport. Alright, 10-4. That's a cancellation for 175 Eldridge on a P-Van, okay? P-Van copy, we're going.
Oh boy.
We'll use the units in the back.
Look at this meme of Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo.
4-2, detail lieutenant.
This is kind of funny, I will admit that, but at the same time it's awful.
Detail lieutenant at 4-2 and 6K. Go ahead. Alright, 10-4. Do you need an additional? Negative, Central. Alright, 10-4. Yeah, unit with 85. Field force 901 and 902 on the air. 901, 902 on the air.
This reporter from BuzzFeed got a picture from the Brooklyn Bridge earlier tonight.
Captain Edwards, 901, 902 on the air.
So she had a long thread. Wow. So she's been tweeting all day. There's a protest at the Stonewall Inn earlier today. Yes, so this is what Ottilia tweeted earlier. The Manhattan Bridge protesters are being blocked in Manhattan. Sergeant Artis Marsh says they're not being blocked on the other side, free to go back to Brooklyn. They just can't come into Manhattan because of curfew. So what I can't understand is maybe this whole curfew was to implement people going into Manhattan. See, if they just said, oh, this is a citywide curfew, then why couldn't they just put the curfew for Manhattan? See, to me, that doesn't make any sense, the way they put it for all 5 boroughs.
Of the 523 ticket 1013 to 3055 Hull Avenue, East Missouri Parkway North and East 204 on the cross. Southbound states they were looking for 2 individuals. Select southbound location, no further descriptions to sound.
Yep, well, here's the problem. How are the protesters going to be back tomorrow if they're not realizing to, one, check the weather forecast and realize that we're expecting severe weather in the New York City metro region tomorrow?
East 16th Union Square West to 5th Avenue. East 16th Union Square West to 5th.
Okay. Oh, got a video. This is the Spider-Man video my friends were just talking about. I was on the phone with them and they tweeted and told me about this video. Spider-Man person climbing up. This is too funny. Let's watch this.
Freeway 10 under, opposite North 65, Cooper Square.
I mean, thankfully the protests are calming down. It hasn't been... I haven't heard anything on the scanner regarding looting, which is a good thing. Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Do a flip!
Yep,
Oh my God.
justice. Trust me, this could easily get me.
13 CO. P-Van, I have 15 under.
Right.
Captain Worsby, on here. Alright, Simple, I'll give you another time of 2353 in regards. And you have, again, East 16th and Union Square West. Which unit is this that's taken under? 13 CO. Alright, Simple. Again, it's going to be 2354. Detail, Captain, go ahead. Expect to need a P-Van over there?
Oh, lovely. I'm hearing vehicles going down Utopia Parkway again. What else is new?
Affirmative. Alright, 10-4. He's going to need 2. Is there a P-Van that can respond to Union Square West and 16th?
Humani Williams, public advocate, tweeted, after several hours, protesters being let off the Manhattan Bridge on the Brooklyn side.
Copy. No further units to location. Authorities 13 CO. What's the location? Who called in this liquor store, Berg? Central, can we get a P-Van 353 West 30 Street? 353 West 30? 353 West 30? 353 West 30 Central.
Mayor de Blasio's not speaking right now because I would have gotten a notification.
Alright, 10-4. 355 is your under time in regard. Central, location for the P-Van?
Nope.
353 West 30. 353 West 30, 10-4.
Nothing from here, but...
No further than 16, no further. Copy. Detail portable at 6.
Yep, we're having people non-protest related break the curfew in Jamaica tonight, according to Andy Q. Up, folks. Looks like we have somebody breaking into a store in the Union Square area.
Alright, which unit is this? Task Force.
Yep.
Task Force case? Alright, 10-4, and what's the location? Avenue Boys and E6. Broadway and E6? Avenue Boys.
Yeah, we saw that video earlier.
Avenue Boy and E6. Alright, 10-4 Task Force, portable copy. Unit raising, your under time is going to be 2336. 353 West 30, just advise P-Van holding 9. These hands are out. Thank you. Detail Lieutenant Central. Detail Lou. Hey, can you give me my under time again? 2348. 2348. Citywide portable for 6-5 and Cuba on the AK? With 10 under, K, you on the air? Citywide portable at 6-5 Cooper with the 10 under, you on the AK?
Yep, gonna retweet this from Andy. Because we are having people break the curfew. I mean, I had a neighbor who broke the curfew. And God forbid, that neighbor's not going out to protest. And I'm literally hearing... This didn't happen last night. I didn't hear any vehicles speeding down Utopia Parkway, because I'm literally walking distance from Utopia Parkway. Which is the... I think it's the biggest street in my neighborhood. Union Turnpike's considered that, but Utopia Parkway, it's easy to speed down there.
1951, also be advised, that's 2 that went. 2 vans at the location in regards. Okay, we need 2.
Okay, we're gonna go back to LA. Keep an eye on that situation.
Proceed with the message. Unit van. We're up ahead of Cooper Square. There's multiple units there. Alright, 10-4.
Back to the apartment complex.
We'll turn off the NYPD feed. You know what? Let's do this for fun, and let's check Agenda Free TV. That's what we'll do. And if nothing is developing, I'm going to call it a night. Oh, looks like Agenda-Free TV has left the air, so... Denver has an update. Let's take a look into there. Yep. This is Denver, Colorado right now. Look at that. So... I think I'm going to wrap everything up. Because if Steve is leaving the air, then I'm leaving the air. So I think with that, I'm going to say goodnight. And I'll be back tomorrow, either with weather coverage or more protest coverage. That's what I'm expecting to do tomorrow. So I think with that, we're going to get going. So have a good night.